Welcome back to Eternal Rookie Crafts. As always, make sure you subscribe so you can see the full build and others. For this episode, we have another short but very important tutorial, and this one is my Battle Beast braids. Surprisingly enough, I actually got a lot of questions on how did I make the braids, and it's probably the simplest part of the entire cosplay to use pins. Pin it to a faux fur coat that I bought on Amazon. So most of this video is just going to be showing how I did the braid, and then I'll put an example of where I bought or which type of yarn I bought for this. So here's a close-up of how I started the braids. It's a little tricky to start them just because they're not attached to the head. I'm used to braiding my own hair from my scalp. This part is in real time. And I just continue that same motion all the way down the braid. That's how it looks. And you can see I made about 7 of them, but each one I made them long enough so that they can double. So I'll just pin it in the middle with a safety pin. Here's how I got the gold rings on them. Just took a piece of gold thread and I wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. Tied it at the end and then cut it with my shears over there, you see? And it makes them all look more like how Battle Beast has the gold rings at the tips of his braid. Speed that up. I did it for all of them. For the ones that I made double long, I did it on both sides. And then for the short one, I just had to do it on one side, and then I pinned it at the tip. So here is the faux fur shawl that I got off of Amazon. It's probably the most expensive part of the cosplay, but not very expensive. I made sure to shop around and get the cheapest one. You can see here I'm checking the length to make sure that it only covers what I want as far as the shoulders, and then I'll use the rest of it to make the cape down my back. So I measured it just off my shoulders, grabbed the tip, flipped it, and then I just cut where my fingers were. No measurements needed. If you want, I can go measure from shoulder to shoulder just to make it easy on you. But I will warn you, I have broad shoulders just because I do a lot of shrugs and other shoulder exercises. That turn for the back was just to make sure that it can wrap all the way around and have that angled look so it's more like it's gnarled and torn right off his back. You can completely ignore trying to use the sewing machine. It was not needed. I thought I would need to seal the fur back to the fabric sheet that it's on, but it's fine. It actually doesn't tear anymore. Just use a lint roller and it'll pull off any loose fur, and it works just as is. It doesn't have to be sealed back. So that's it. The only thing that I left out, and I did so purposely, is I did not put fur on Battle Beast's face or the top of his head or the back of his neck because I actually wanted to use that space to have it signed by celebrities. So A-Train was actually in the house, and we had the opportunity to meet him. I got him to sign it.
You never know, you know.
Right?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
it's a signature. I expect the doctor handwriting. Right.
But it did positively boost my spirits, so I'm glad I got that signature. And I think I'll leave it there. I may make another head so I can cover it completely in fur, but I love this one the way it is. So once again, thanks for joining. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for the next one. See you next time, rookies. Peace.